The River Valley Civilizations Part 2. So in the previous chapter we studied regarding Indus Valley Civilization. We already got an idea about the River Valley Civilizations, how the River Valley Civilizations came into existence. And the most important River Valley Civilization we studied in the last chapter, previous chapter, was about Indus Valley Civilization. In this chapter, we will further study about some more civilizations. They are some more river valley civilizations. They are Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, and Chinese civilization. We will study in details about these three civilizations in this chapter. We will study about their society, religion, arts, and crafts. So let's start with first Mesopotamia, which is today's modern Iraq. Mesopotamia is Iraq of modern times. Today, the place we know as Iraq, it was previously known as, in ancient times, it was known as Mesopotamia. Here, a great civilization arose in about 5000 BC. In 5000 BC, Mesopotamian civilization came into existence. Mesopotamia is a Greek word. Mesopotamia is actually not an English word but a Greek word which means the land between the two rivers. Mesopotamia means the land between the two rivers, and this region, Mesopotamia, is situated in between the two rivers. Those two rivers are Euphrates and Tigris. These are the two rivers, Euphrates and Tigris, and in between these two rivers this land is situated. That is why it is called Mesopotamia. In this map we can see this brown color region is Mesopotamia. These blue lines we can see here, one is Tigris, another is Euphrates, and this is the region in between these two rivers. So now we came to know why it is called the land between two rivers, that is Mesopotamia. Flowing through the region, Mesopotamia is the land between rivers Tigris and Euphrates. About 150 years back, archaeologists discovered the ruins of some ancient towns and cities. We already came to know the meaning of archaeologists, the people who does any kind of research or archaeological surveys or historical research. They are called the archaeologists. So 150 years back, archaeologists discovered ruins, means remaining parts of some ancient towns and cities. They collected thousands of clay tablets. These clay tablets are actually it looks like some kind of piece of clay, and previously in ancient days these clay tablets were used to be written, and these clay tablets, it is not like that we write down in with pen or pencil on these clay tablets. There is a process of writing, that is not actually writing, but actually the writings are actually carved on this clay tablets. The clay tablet, when they are in a raw state, when it is soft, not hard, but when it is soft, so using some pointed tip, the writings are written on those clay tablets, and then it is dried up. After drying up, the writing comes out properly on the clay tablet. So these clay tablets were actually used, since previously there were no papers. Papers were not discovered. People did not know about papers, so that is why they used these clay tablets to write up. So when these archaeologists, they started excavating this particular ruins, they found out thousands of clay tablets with strange words engraved on them. So as I told you that we don't use, they did not use pen or pencils to write on the clay tablets. They used to engrave words on the clay tablets. So when these clay tablets were discovered, strange words were engraved on them. Henry Rawlinson, a great archaeologist, Henry Rawlinson, he was one of the great archaeologists, was able to decipher these inscriptions. Decipher means he was able to know, he was able to make out, or he was able to understand what was written in those inscriptions. So this Henry Rawlinson, he was an archaeologist, and he deciphered these inscriptions. In this way, the secret of the ancient civilization of Mesopotamia became known to the world. We got so much information about Mesopotamian civilization. After this writing was deciphered, after these inscriptions were deciphered, we got so much information about Mesopotamia. The span of this civilization was, span means this civilization existed from 5000 BC to 500 BC. The lower part of the Mesopotamia valley was called the Sumer region. So as we can see in this map, the lower portion of the Mesopotamia valley, it is called Sumer. It is termed as Sumer region. So the lower part of the Mesopotamia valley was called the Sumer region. It was the heart of Mesopotamia. It was the center of Mesopotamia. The people living in Sumer region were called Sumerians. Sumerians. So the people who lived in the Sumer region, they were called Sumerians. They were the first to develop an advanced civilization in Mesopotamia. Actually, the Sumerians were the first people who developed this advanced civilization in Mesopotamia. They were the first to come and settle in Mesopotamia, and they started this advanced civilization in Mesopotamia. And that is why this Mesopotamian region is also called the Sumerian civilization. Now we will see here these new words. Clay tablets. A flat surface made of clay with words cut or written on it. So it is a flat surface made up of clay, and when it is smooth or soft, that time the words are cut or written on it, and then it is dried up in the either in the sun or baked in the fire so that it becomes hard and the words remain on it as it is. Decipher, to convert from a code to plain text. So decipher means in the ancient inscriptions or the ancient scripts, they were not normal language that we study today, so they need to be deciphered. That acts as some kind of code which needs to be deciphered into plain text, so that the text that the common people of today's generation can understand. Then we will see the religious dominance of the Mesopotamian civilization. Religion dominated the Mesopotamian civilization. They were priest kings to start with. So the Mesopotamian civilization was highly dominated by religion, and the kings, they were actually priest kings. They were priests as well as they were kings. So from this we come to know how religion was so much important in Mesopotamian civilization, or how the Mesopotamian civilization was dominated by religion, because they had these priest kings. They had both religious and state authority. Since they were priests as well as kings, so obviously they had religious authority also, and they had state authority also. From the very beginning, each city-state had its own gods. So Mesopotamia, every city-state, they had their own gods. So the tradition of worshipping many gods continued even during times of empires in Mesopotamia. So when Mesopotamian civilization existed, since then this worshipping of many gods tradition also existed, and that is why this worshipping of many gods tradition continued when empires also came into existence in Mesopotamia. And the chief gods worshipped were Enlil, Marduk, Asur, Ishtar, etc. These are the name of the gods that the Mesopotamians worshipped. These were the chief gods that the Mesopotamians worshipped, and as we have already studied, every state had their own god. The Sumerians had built many temples of gods. These were called ziggurats. So the temples that were built for gods, they don't call them as temples, but they had this particular term that is used, that is called ziggurats. Ziggurats are the Mesopotamian temples. We can see here the definition of ziggurat is given, as well as the picture of ziggurat is given. This is the picture of a ziggurat, and this is the definition. Ziggurats were massive pyramidal temples built in the ancient Mesopotamian valley. So these look like, these ziggurats, they look like some kind of pyramidal structure. That is why they are called pyramidal temples built in the ancient Mesopotamian valley and western Iranian plateau. This is actually the location of the ziggurats. Ancient Mesopotamian valley and western Iranian plateau. This is actually the location of the ziggurats where they are located. Having the form of a terraced step pyramid of successively receding stories or levels. So having the form of a terraced step, we can see here. Here, if we see the picture clearly, they have this terraced step. The terrace is some kind of step-like structure, and as we go higher and higher, the stories goes on receding. Receding means the stories goes on decreasing. As we go higher and higher, the stories goes on decreasing. So having the form of a terraced step pyramid of successively receding stories or levels. As we go higher and higher, the base is a flat one. As we go higher and higher, the stories or levels, they go on receding. So this is the definition of ziggurats. These temples were decorated with statues of many other gods. Temples were made of burnt bricks. So we have already come across this term burnt bricks in Indus Valley civilization. The Indus Valley civilization people, they built roads, their streets, houses with burnt bricks. Similarly, Mesopotamian people also built temples with burnt bricks. Colored tiles and marble slabs were used to beautify them, and in order to decorate their ziggurats, they used these colored tiles and marble slabs. These were very high, almost reaching the skies, built in a series of tiers. So these zigguras, they were very high, massive structures, almost reaching the skies. It looked like it was so high that it looked like almost reaching the skies, built in a series of tiers. Series of tiers means, as we already studied here, the receding stories. So one above the other it was built, and as we have already studied, this series of tiers, they go on receding as you go higher and higher. The Mesopotamians also worshipped the forces of nature. So they not only worshipped gods, they also worshipped the forces of nature such as sun, moon, rain and the stars. They placed the statue of the sun god at the highest pedestal for them, for the Mesopotamian people. Sun god was the most important god. That is why they placed the statue of sun god at the highest pedestal. Highest pedestal means at the topmost level they placed the statue of sun god, and on the top story. In this figure, the top story was comprised of the statue of the sun god. The temples served many useful purposes. So this is very important. The temples were not only used for worshipping purpose, the temples also served many useful purposes, such as they were the center of education, first. Second, they were also used as an observatory by the astrologers to study the planets and the stars. So these were the purpose of the temples, of the zigguras. Children used to study in these zigguras, so they were the center of education. The astrologers used these zigguras as an observatory to study the position of planets and stars. And these temples also served as places of trade and commerce. The temples were also served as places of import and export, means it was a kind of trading center. Temples were also kind of trading center for Mesopotamian people. So these were the other uses of temples. The Mesopotamian people also believed in life after death. They placed eatables and articles, like we have already studied in Indus Valley civilization. They believed in this phenomena of life after death. Similarly, Mesopotamian people also believed in life after death. They placed eatables and articles of use along with the dead body in the tombs. So when they used to bury the dead body in the tombs, along with the dead body, they used to place the eatables and articles that that particular person was using during his lifetime, so that these particular things he can use in his next life, that is life after death. So the same belief was followed by the Mesopotamian people also. So this was regarding their religious belief. Now we will study their social classes, the three social classes. First was the upper class, which comprised of the ruling class. So the Mesopotamian society was divided into three classes: upper class, middle class and lower class. So the upper class comprised of the ruling class. Obviously they were the kings, the nobles, royal people and high officials. Anybody related to the king or the royal family, they belong to the upper class. Since they are upper class people or they belong to the royal family, so they led a very comfortable and luxurious life. Then comes the middle class, which consisted of landlords, merchants and traders, craftsmen and artisans. They also led a happy life. So the middle class, they also somehow they led a very happy life. Not luxurious life like the upper class people, but they were self-sufficient. Then comes the lower class, consisted of slaves, the labor class and the tillers of the land. Tillers means those who cultivated land, the farmers. So these people, they comprised of the lower class. Slavery prevailed in Mesopotamia. Slavery means the people who were captured in some kind of war, the prisoners who were captured in some kind of war, and then they are purchased to work in the person who purchases them, they work for that particular person. So that was the kind of process of slavery that was going on during that time. So slavery prevailed in Mesopotamia, but slaves were not treated harshly. So we know that the people, the slaves, they were purchased and they worked for that particular person who purchases them, and they were treated very harshly. They are kept in very unhygienic condition, and they are not given proper food, and they were made to work very hard. But in Mesopotamia, slavery existed, but they were not treated harshly. Then position of women. Women occupied a high position. They could own property. So in Mesopotamian civilization, the women, they had a respect in the society. They occupied a very high position. They also had the right to own property. They also enjoyed great freedom in the society. Now we will see what kind of occupation and craft was practiced by the Mesopotamian people. The land in Mesopotamia was very fertile as it was fed by rich soil, that is tilled from the two rivers after frequent floods. So already we studied that Mesopotamia is a land between two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. So that was the positive point that Mesopotamia had, because since it was situated in between the two rivers, so every time after frequent flood, whenever there was flood, after the flood water receded, the land was fed with this rich soil, that is silt, the soil that is brought down by the rivers. So this silt is very fertile, highly cultivable. That is why agriculture was thus one of the main occupation of the people. Because of such rich fertile soil, agriculture was their main occupation. They produced, so these were the crops that they produced: wheat, barley, pulses, vegetables and fruits. The domestication of animals such as cows, goats, oxen, sheep and asses, and using them for their benefit. So they not only did agriculture, they also domesticated animals. These are the animals that they domesticated, and they used these animals according to their own benefit. Was another occupation of the Mesopotamian people. Mesopotamian people were skilled craftsmen also. So along with agriculture and domesticating animals, they also did craftsmanship. They were goldsmiths who made ornaments of gold, silver and copper. So goldsmiths, there existed goldsmiths who made ornaments made up of gold, silver and copper.